breaking news today is that the Tennessee Titans have, and still, I'm still befuddled. Man, it's still shocking to me to try to say. John Robinson, our GM since 2016, has been fired today.
Yep.
Given his walking papers by Amy Adams Strunk, the Titans owner of the Tennessee Titans. This is coming off of a Philadelphia Eagles loss, who they just traded away this past offseason, A.J. Brown, to the Eagles.
Big deal right there.
And I don't know how I feel about this. Like, initially, I'm thinking... also Milo, my dog, if you can see him in the frame right there. So, great dog. So, yeah, he'll do that. So
That's all right.
He's just friendly.
He's saying what's up.
Yeah. So
he's saying he doesn't approve of the firing.
I don't know how I feel about either. I'm thinking from multiple angles of, geez,
It's crazy.
I am thinking on the bad side. Was this a power move by Mike Vrabel, or was this Amy Adams saying like she did with Mike Mularkey? And this is also nose to Todd Downey and Mike Vrabel. Like, everybody's on a short leash, and this should be our Super Bowl window.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I think I got to say it looks like it's a result of maybe A.J. Brown, the treatment of A.J. Brown. I mean, A.J. Brown comes in and just stomps us this past Sunday, and it's just like almost like his revenge game against the Titans. I'm sure he still loves the franchise. I saw a post-game interview of him actually when he was doing that celebration, whipping the towel against the goalpost. He said it was, and then he hugged it at the end, and he was saying it's kind of like a love-hate relationship. I don't know if those are his exact words, but something of the sort. It's like he was whipping up on us, but he still loves us,
I mean, yeah.
We should have paid the guy, man. I mean,
at the time, if you were... And it's been documented by, you have A.J. Brown's side of the camp that say he wanted to get his fair share amidst of all the receivers that are getting paid this past off season.
Yep.
And then you have the reports come out that he wanted $100 million guaranteed dollars. And even as much as I love, Titans haven't had good receivers since Nate Washington.
Yep.
Justin Gage. Derek Mason. Yeah, that's all the Titans since 2000.
Yep.
And then A.J. Brown comes in and usurps all of them, and he's our superstar wide receiver. But even I, in this market, I'm like, and we just pay Tannehill $100 million himself. I'm like,
I know, but
you can go kick rocks, man.
Yeah,
you can go kick. Now I look stupid. Now, everybody looks stupid because as one of my former bosses, he's actually a Washington Commanders / Redskin fan.
Okay.
And even he is saying, amidst of what the Rams did the past few seasons, the Eagles, the 49ers, they manipulate that cap for their all-in push. And if this is our Super Bowl year, then maybe that does fall on John Robinson to make his way with the manipulate the cap for at least this year and then push it off to next year. But man, that $100 million, Derek, that's the thing that I will never understand. It was reported that A.J. Brown asked for $100 million guaranteed, but he didn't get that with the Eagles. So something tells me that when he was traded to the Eagles, he said, the Eagles brass said, hey, we're going to pay you, but you're not going to get $100 million guaranteed. You'll get a $100 million contract, but you're not getting $100 million guaranteed.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what, I guess, the disconnect between his communication with the Titans and then the fallout, I guess, of A.J. Brown and us. But, I think we should have paid the man what he wanted to get paid. We're paying Tannehill all this money, and Tannehill's not looking too hot.
I would have agreed with you a few weeks ago, and I think as he's coming off of that injury, which I would have said of a high ankle sprain, that's usually about 4 to 6 weeks, and he came back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So even I still vouch that he came back too early. Whether that's pressure on his end because he's feeling still the lingering playoff loss of the Bengals over his head and doesn't want Malik Willis to find even a hint of fire to steal the job from him.
Right.
Or even the coaching brass was saying, hey, we trying to motivate him, maybe a shoulder bump of saying hey, we could really use you right now. Sort of thing. But ultimately with Tannehill, I would say right now, amidst the Eagles, I mean, the Eagles' loss just highlighted a whole slew of problems outside the one problem that has been highlighting us even in our wins is that our offensive play calling is too predictable right now with Todd Downing.
Yeah, I mean, we rely way too much on the run, and everyone knows it.
Yeah.
That's where AJ Brown would, he did last year or however long he's been with us since his rookie year. He would, it was all just like they had to keep their eyes on him too, not just Derrick Henry. But now it's like all eyes are on Derrick Henry constantly. I think we rely way too much heavy on the run game.
That box gets stacked, and then they are daring us to throw the ball.
And we don't have anyone to throw the ball to.
To that, I would say yes and no.
Right,
because,
yes and no, but not an AJ Brown.
Yeah, not an AJ Brown. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Traylon Burks, though, these last 3 games has really come on, though.
Yeah, he's going to be really good.
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah, he looks good.
So, an interesting stat that actually came out. I want to read it off right now.
What you got?
All right. Where was the stat? So, apparently, from, I'll give this guy a shout out, Jay Lamas 72 on Twitter, mentions these stats about Tannehill. He is third in the NFL. He is third in the NFL per yard. Yeah, he's third in the NFL in 20-yard completion per attempts. He's first in the NFL in 40-yard completion per attempts. And also, with our Titans lackluster receiver core that people want to say, Chicken Conquo and Traylon Burks, our 2 rookie receivers, have receptions of 40-plus yards. 3 receptions of 40-plus yards. Only 5 other teams, the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Broncos, have that stat. Now, the Broncos, they're nosediving, and Seattle is grinning on that draft pick they traded for. But the rest of them, they have high-powered offenses.
Yeah.
So that's not so much we don't have the weapons. It's that we don't – yes –
play calling.
Yeah, play calling. It's too predictable. And what Vrabel said actually yesterday when he was almost asked verbatimly, do you think we need a change? Do we need a change of identity amidst these last few weeks of Derrick Henry not getting the ball? And in coach speak, he didn't say these word for words, but in his coach speak translated, he basically said, I'm running down with this Titanic ship with Derrick Henry. And if we lose, then I'll own up to it. Which we will see about that this offseason.
You really can't completely blame him for that either. I mean, it's Derrick Henry, but
you cannot be, your game plan cannot be, let's pray to the heavens.
Yeah, that's true.
For him to break runs.
Right.
Because that has to open up with the passing game. And for a long time in our past happy NFL, we have not had a 3,000-plus yard passer until 1 year with Matt Hasselbeck, and then all the years Tannehill has been a full season starter with us. All the rest of the years has been run heavy with Malarkey, with Munchak, CJ2K, especially with Jeff Fisher at the helm.
Yeah.
And so the fallout to kind of wrap this up is, if this is a result of Mike Vrabel doing a power hand and
is that what you think, Josh?
That is
what you're leaning towards?
That's one of 2 scenarios. I'm leaning more towards what happened after we won against the Chiefs in the playoffs, and then we lost to the Patriots with Malarkey, where she said ultimately, you got us this far, but you're not cut out to take us over the hump.
Right. It's just our cap. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I think amidst of recent draft classes and free agent signings and amidst of all of that, honestly, her firing him, I think I'm leaning more towards this is like a signal to Todd Downing and Mike Vrabel, not Shane Bowen. I think whatever happens with the coaching staff, he's staying because he's taken the defensive coordinator position last 2 years and ran away with the top 10 and points allowed in the game the last 2 seasons. So I'm leaning more towards this is a signal to Todd and Mike saying, hey, you thought he was safe? Don't think you're safe.
Yep. I can see that.
So especially if we get bounced one and done, which funny enough, guess who we play first round if the playoffs were held today? Cincinnati. Again, so as if that wasn't Karma kicking us in the rear end again.
Yeah.
We need to get beat by them twice.
Right.
3 times in a row. Actually. No, 4 times in a row. I've kept track. Vrabel is winless against the Cincinnati Bengals in his career as a head coach. Let that sink
You know who
in.
else is winless against the Cincinnati Bengals? Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Exactly.
That's pretty crazy, I think.
Yeah, it is. Matchups.
Yeah.
The other scenario, I am praying this is not the case. Is that Mike Vrabel pulled a power move to get his buddy from New England out of there, and he is in control of player personnel the way similarly to his former boss Bill O'Brien was in Houston. And if that is the case, there's no way Todd Downing is going out of there. But I have a hard time believing that Amy Adams is going to put up with Todd Downing being our offensive coordinator. She's going to probably at the end of the year, assume we get bounced out. Even if we win a playoff game, and it's like by a field goal or a touchdown, she will. There's no, with this roster and this coaching staff, there's no way we are constructed to go to a championship game or Super Bowl. Which if we go to one of those two or win one of those two, that's the only way Todd Dowling's safe for his job. So I'm of the belief that Amy Adams is going to roll in there with Mike Vrabel, calling him in her office in Nashville, saying, "Hey, I like you. You are a great coach. You are a great coach for this team. But Todd Downing, he has got to go. And we are going to bring in a GM that's going to work hand in hand with you, and you're going to look for a better offensive coordinator and not hire anyone else in-house." Even though Arthur Smith turned out to be a good in-house hire, but when Todd Downing was hired, Marcus Rowe, our coworker at Life Church, actually, Raiders fan, even he told me, and a whole bunch of Raider fans told Titans Forum saying, "Yeah, we had him as our OC after Derek Carr has an MVP year. He was not a good coordinator." So we had our warning signs with Todd Downing, and we refused to listen to him. So I pray. I mean, so what do you think this is leaning towards with Robinson? You think it's just an isolated thing, or is this a sign of other personnel decisions coming?
I don't know. I don't know enough, I guess, to really say what I think. I guess, or say what
your honest opinion, assessing.
Okay, my honest opinion would be it's probably just like a solo, like he's just pointing that's like the only change that's going to be made anytime soon. Well, maybe not anytime soon. I think an offensive coordinator.
He's got to go. He's got to go by the end of the year. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think it'll be like like trying to clean slate and move a bunch of people around. I think GM, offensive coordinators is probably the two that. Well, GM already has happened now, so it's just OC's next, I guess. OC's
next, or if one of the things I've said all year is in the defense of Todd Downing that Mike Vrabel seems to have for him. He is looking very, very reminiscent of Mike Mularkey when he was defending Terry Robisky as his offensive play caller when Marcus Mariota was not having that developmental hump that you would expect, say, a Sean McVay or a Matt LaFleur or even a Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan has taken an undrafted Mr. Irrelevant. He's taken Mr. Irrelevant and he beat Tua and the Dolphins.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's one of those things where if Vrabel goes down with the Downing ship, I would not be shocked if this turns in from Robinson, Downing, and Vrabel like a full purge, like fire sale of the coaching staff, not so much the players, so much the coaching staff, minus Shane Bowen. And one of the things that needs to be addressed, it's not being addressed so much that it should be, our player development, like our physical trainers, our player physical trainers, they've been there since 2019. Since 2019, we've had so many injuries left and right.
Yeah.
Our strength and conditioning coach needs to be gone.
That's a good point.
He needs to be gone because
I haven't heard anybody talk about that.
Folks going down with injuries with groins, hamstrings,
all of them.
Like that's not. I mean, the whack play of Burks with a concussion that you can't coach. That you can't.
Right.
That you can't avoid.
That. Yeah.
Like an ankle injury that Tannehill suffered when someone landed on him. That Inevitable. You can't control.
Yeah, it just happens.
But you can control the groin injury. You can control the calf injuries, the hamstring injuries with strength and conditioning. And outside of Derrick Henry with his freak knee injury or leg injury, whatever it was last year, because he's a workout machine.
Yeah,
He's a workout machine.
right?
Everybody else needs and Taylor Lewan. He's always injury prone.
Yeah.
Our strength and conditioning coach. If anything else, if Todd Downing doesn't go, he better be the one to go. At least our strength and conditioning coach.
I haven't heard anybody say that or talk about that. At least I guess that's a good way to look at things. It makes
details and the details.
Yeah, it is. That's getting pretty detailed right there.
Yeah.